to add that. So let me add the code. So here, so what I'm going to do when you send data, okay, when you send data, so just before sending data itself, I'll put new actions for driver dot send keys. Send keys case dot escape dot perform. So done. So it will remove that automatically. Right, let me run once again this. We'll see now. We'll come to know whether it is clearing or not, that escape. You're sending the escape key before typing itself. Yeah, perfect. Now it's working, right? So it will highlight again, send keys, then clear it. That's it. So that's how you need to think, because when you can get that idea immediately, if you have those methods in your mind, or you need to practice. That's the only thing. Okay. So now good. So we fixed that issue also. Perfect. Okay. Now, how to run through pom.xml? Till now we have seen we are running through testng.xml, right? How can you run in through pom.xml? If you want to run through pom.xml, you just need to add a build section in the, already we added build section. Then you need to mention this as suite files. So if you want to run multiple suite files, you can mention one by one suite file with a suite XML file tag, and you mention that. Where is our suite file? It is in our project location directly. So you don't need to give a path, but if you store some other place, give the complete path. Otherwise, just this the project directory only, this testng.xml. So just mention testng. So that's it. Exact name I'm giving, testng.xml I'm giving this name. So I mentioned that name. Okay. So now, first thing what you need to do is right click on the pom.xml, run as maven clean. First command you need to run maven clean. You can do maven build also, but do the first maven build. You have to give two. One is clean and install, or a clean test. So any one you have to give. First maven clean is success. Next right click, maven install. First time you do maven install, it will install or download any pending dependencies. So you are sure all dependencies are available. You don't need to so mention that maven install. You can directly run maven test itself. So meanwhile, let it run. It is running, right? Let me explain, okay? Okay. So which is running here? There are two plugins you are using. two plugins you are using to run this. See, Maven Surefire plugin is used to execute your test cases. So what is the Maven Surefire plugin? Two plugins will be used in the pom.xml. What are the two plugins? One is Maven Compiler plugin, Maven Surefire plugin. So what is the purpose of this? Maven Compiler plugin will compile the code. So Maven Surefire plugin will execute your test cases. So let me show you that we have a nice documentation. I'll just give that. So brief introduction about. Yeah. So these are the Maven plugins. See, this is the Surefire plugin. What it will do? This plugin you use to run and report on test cases. Great way to quickly. So this will compile your code and run your unit test case, generate a report with the results. So that's the Maven Surefire plugin execution. So Maven test is done by this Surefire plugin. So there is a fail-safe plugin. This plugin is a Maven. So it is used to run integration tests and is like the Surefire plugin for unit test cases. So this also, but we don't use this much, but we will use. So this will verify MVN verify. And Jekako plugin, you know, this Jekako plugin is to generate the code coverage reports. So test coverage reports it will generate. So MVN Jekako :report. So it will generate the Jekako. So if you want, code coverage will be generated by. So this one, if you want, you can add this this plugin also. So the plugin to here you can add. So it will generate the report also. So then we have a PMD plugin, but this we don't use. Any violations of coding standards, it will complain to you. So we don't want that, okay? Check style plugin. So it will enforce coding conventions and best practices. It's a great way to ensure check style. So MVN check style.check. So this is another, this one. But mainly you remember Maven compiler plugin, Maven Surefire plugin. These two are enough for us. So other than that, we don't need much. Okay. So just remember them. And so if they ask what are the plugins I used, you tell these two, and purpose also you tell them. And then, so how to run in command prompt. So we have shown you how to run through pom.xml, through testng.xml. Everything is recorded here in our blog. If you go to our blog, so if you go to our hybrid framework, so there it is clearly mentioned. Hybrid framework, you go, and it's very, very clearly mentioned. Complete pom.xml I have given. See different ways to run the framework tests. Run test through testng.xml, that is done. So second way is done through pom.xml, that is done. So that you need this build section. This build section you need to add in the pom.xml, that we added already. So then run test through command prompt. So for this, you need a Maven should be downloaded, and set the maven path in the environment variables. So set the maven home path in the environment variables. And so that's the precondition. So once you do this, okay, once you do this, and then just, so you can go to the project location. So now I'm going to the project location. So where is my project? So this is my project, right? Right click, properties, and this is my project location. Okay, this is my project location. So go inside the project, and this is the project location. So from here, you just open this in the CMD, type CMD in the, so address bar, just press enter key. So the command prompt will open. Your project path will open in the command prompt. So if you say PWD, so PWD won't work here, but yeah, so dir, you can see all the directories, it will list out. So our files are listing out here. So now you need to run this. So simple command you give mvn clean test or mvn clean install, anything is fine. So you just need to this command mvn clean test, automatically your test case will run. Now our test cases are still running. So once that is done, so I'm going to run that. So which test case are going on, you can see, and you can run that. Register with, okay, registration test case are going on. After that, product details page. So that is the and so which one is this one is exporting. I think I can close this. So multiple are running. That's why. So I need to close this also. There is a lot of things are on. Yeah. See, now it's running. Let it run. And once that is done, you can run from this. Okay, after that, let's go under. We don't want to waste time. So that's a simple. You can see very clearly given mvn clean install or mvn clean test. That is the how to run through command prompt. Then running test through batch file. So this batch file is called run.batch file you can create. So these batch files will be created for running your suit test cases in the Windows machine. Then you will create a run.bat is the extension you will use. So what is that you have to give? So you open a notepad, open a new thing, and go to CD and give your project directory. So the project directory we know already. So I'm going to give right click. So this is my project directory. So you give first in the notepad, CD, and that one. Thus, fourth part I'm explaining. Fourth part is how to create a batch file. So the batch file I'm creating, first, this is the first command you have to give. I'm cding to project directory. Then you just give mvn clean test. That's it. Then save this file as a save as and go to the project location and so Eclipse workspace, right? I'll go to C drive, Eclipse workspace. So my project name is Hybrid Framework May 16. So this is the place you have to. So run batch.bat. So in the save as type, you select all types. That's it. So this batch file will create. So see, this is the batch file is created. You go and see now in that location, project directory location, see Windows batch file. So batch file is created. Now even you don't need to open your Eclipse You don't open a command prompt, just come to this directory, just double click on that, your test cases will trigger automatically. That's a fourth way to run your test cases. One is how to run through testng.xml, I have shown you. How to run through pom.xml, I have shown you. How to run through command prompt, I have shown you. So how to run through batch file, I'm going to show you that. So let's go and is it done? So still running. Product metadata test is going on, last test case, right? So this is the one last test case. So this is the one last test case. So almost we are done. So then, so you need to run through command prompt. So I'll run now MEN clean test. So let's get started. Fail to clean, fail to delete because it's already running, right? That's why it is not doing that. Let it complete, okay? Let it complete.
That's
so
where open command prompt directly and then that command will be executed.
just execute it. Just give that MEN clean install. That's it.
I mean, in the sense that will open command internally and that executes too.
You already have a MVN setup.
Yeah.
And also pom.xml is there in this project, in this location.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah, understand.
Pom.xml means it's a Maven project. Maven project means this MVN commands will work out.
Good.
So is it done? Okay. One skipped, that's fine. Okay. It's okay. I'm not worried about that failed one now. But yeah, see this. MVN clean install. See, automatically started. One test case I'll wait and I'll close it and I'll show you run test. Then we'll go for the last one, how to run in Jenkins. So that's a CI/CD pipeline, how to run. So CI/CD pipeline, we'll see that. So then the Git, so Git option 1 is there. So that also we need to discuss. So how to push this code to GitHub. So I'll show you that also, how to push the code to GitHub. So meanwhile, we'll understand what is CI/CD. So CI means continuous integration. CD means continuous deployment, continuous delivery. So CI is, for example, there are one developer or one tester is working on the project. So, and you have a concept of branching concept. So branching concept is there. So the branching means, so every project has a one main branch. So the main branch is the one where all our code will reside there. That's a repository location. So the repository is there are many source code repository management tools. We have a GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, Azure repos, AWS. These are all many code repos will be there. Code repos means code repositories are there. There you will store your application code. That's the source code management tools. Okay, that's a remote repository, right? So GitHub, GitLab, these are all source code repository, but remote, not in our server, right? How you will communicate with from our system to that remote repository? So there is a engine, Git engine is there. That's a version control tool, Git. So Git and GitHub, GitLab, these are different. Source code management repositories are GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, Azure repos. These are all the source code management repositories. So how you will interact with from your local machine to those repositories? There is a Git engine. Internally, it will be there for every code repository. So the Git is the main engine that will talk to remote repositories from your local machine to remote repository to your local machine. So the communication is established by this Git, that is a version control tool. So that version control tool is the main one which is going to connect remote and local repositories. So I'll just stop this. Okay. So before going for this, let's stop this. Okay. And I'm closing this now. Okay. So next I want to show you how to trigger with a batch file, right? This is the batch file. Just double click. See, I'm not going for Eclipse. I'm not using a command prompt. I just came to this project directory, just double clicking on that. See, your command prompt opened automatically and it is running your test cases. That's simple. Batch file. Just you're clicking the batch file. That's it. So internally, it will again, you have a CD and a CD to that project directory. Again, mvn clean install started. So that is how you can run through a batch file. Okay, so now let's go to, let's come back to this Git concept. So I told you Git, right? The Git is a version control tool. So Git is a version control tool. So that is the main engine that talks to your code repository system. So this code repository system is mainly handled by that Git. So version control tool. So Git is a version control tool. So why do you need this Git? So you need to maintain the history of who committed, who written the code, and bad code is going to repository or good code is going to repository. How do we know that? So there are multiple people are there and multiple people are working on the same project and they want to share the files. How it will not messed up? And how you can share the code, one developer code, how you can share with the other person. That all possible with this Git system. Git engine will give you a provision for us to properly share the code and resolve the merge conflicts, and you can share the code among team members also. And for example, let me show you that a proper so I'm ending this also. Okay, so we don't want waste unnecessarily. Okay, so let's go to understand. This is a very, very important concept. See, so one developer is working on this. Okay, and so you have a code repositories. So this is a source code and this is a main branch. So maybe it is a bit bucket. So developer or tester, dev or tester, somebody working and pushing the code, committing the code. So git git lab and so bit bucket. So here he will commit the code. So commit the code. So this entire code is available here. Your application code is so available here. So your code is here. So all the code is here. So now, so then this code will be run in the Jenkins. So there is a CI/CD pipeline. So there it will run. The code will run. Okay, so CI, so CD, and one more CD also there. Is this the same? CI means, for example, so again, this is the main branch. Suppose it's a main branch, right? So this is the main branch. So this is the main branch. So code is here. For example, one more developer started working on that. So what he has to do, he has to clone this code into his local machine. Okay, he has to clone into his local machine. So he has to clone it. Clone means copying this branch into his local machine. He cannot work directly here. Any developer or any tester, everybody first clone this, copy this, download this entire code to local machines. Then, so for example, this developer 1, so this developer 2, and one more guy. So maybe this developer 3. So this developer 2, right? He is also pulling the same downloading here and downloading here. So all 3 developers are working on the same main branch. How they can work? They have to create a branching system. There is a branching system. So independently, you can work with this branching system. So this branching system, what it will do, the copy you are putting here, right? Same copy you will create the feature 1. For example, this guy is working on feature 1. So he will create a feature 1 branch. So feature 1 branch he will create, and this guy will create a feature 2 branch. This guy will create feature 3 branch. So everybody can work independently. So no need of depends on that, and nobody is allowed to work here directly modify the files in this branch. So nobody allowed to modify the code in the main or master branch. So what you need to do, you have to download this code to your local machine, then create a branch. So creating a branch means what? You're copying the main branch code into your branch, your local branch. So that will be any changes you made to that branch, it will be available in that branch only. It won't go here. When it will go, once you merge it. But that we won't do. We can work independently. This guy can work independently. This guy can work independently because his branch is different. His branch changes are different. So if you want this guy branch here, you can merge this F3, you can merge here in his branch, not here. If he is completed, he can go and merge into main branch. If it is completely tested, thoroughly tested, then only can merge here in the main branch. Otherwise, he is not allowed to merge. He is not allowed to merge. He is not allowed to merge in the main branch directly without testing. So he has to test in his local, and then, so that is a continuous integration means, for example, this guy merged here, this feature is tested and he merged. But these changes are not in this guy. What he has to do? He has to pull again that changes into his local branch. That is called continuous integration. Instead of overriding these changes, this guy has to pull this main branch changes to this guy every day when he is starting the work, so that he will be up to date with the main branch. Always make sure your changes are up to date with the main branch. Your changes and all main branch changes must be there. So that is called continuous integration. You are going to integrate the code continuously with all other developers, and you're keeping the code. So up to the mark with the main branch. That is called continuous integration, integrating the code with the main branch continuously. And one developer will merge, another developer will merge, but you have to, when you are starting a new work again, first always fetch from main branch. Then create a new branch on top of this, so that it won't affect the main branch, because main branch is the one which is running on the production. Now, so that's the continuous integration, integrating your code continuously. That is called continuous integration. The ability to integrate the code and merge the code and in main branch continuously without interrupting other developers, others code you should not override. That's called continuous integration. So what is continuous deployment? So you deploy this code into different environments. So you have a QA and so staging and pre-prod and then prod. So different environments. So you are going to deploy. So the ability to deploy the code in different environments is called continuous deployment, pre-prod environment. So different environments you can deploy easily with this. So continuous deployment and prod. So once this code is deployed here, then you can merge into main branch. So once this code is deployed into prod, then you can deploy into main branch. Once this code is deployed into prod, and you can deploy. So first you have to deploy first here. QA, then stays, then it will promote code like that. So next here, next it will go here, next it will go here. The systematic. So you have to move. So QA will, again, testers will involve here. He will test, sign off here. Then he will test here. Then he will test here. Then he will push the code to here. So without testing here, you cannot push the code to prod. So this is the continuous deployment. So next feature. So next 2 months after, one more feature will come. All the developers will go and merge again. So continuously deploying the code in different environments is called continuous deployment. Then what is continuous delivery? So continuous delivery. So CD 2 are there. So this continuous deployment. Okay, continuous deployment. So this is continuous delivery. So delivery. So basically you deploy to product, right? So who will use that? End users, right? End users. So the end users are our customers will be using. For example, you see your Facebook or LinkedIn or some other thing, any website, who will use? The customers will use. Like you are using Cox Mobile or Airtel or Verizon. So all this data you are using, end users, we are the users. So are you using continuously? So without any issues? So that is the continuous delivery means. Delivery means, so you are delivering the products or features to end users continuously without any issues. And so once you deploy the code, it should not work means it's no use. So the continuous delivery means you will give a demo, you will provide the videos, and you will provide the release notes. So all this will continuously deliver to the end users. So that is called continuous delivery. The ability to deliver the features to end users or customers is called continuous delivery by giving a release notes, and also some videos about new features. You will create videos and give it to them so that they can use it. So that is called continuous integration, continuous deployment, continuous delivery. So this is the whole process will happen in the real time. How can you do this? Okay, how you can do this continuous deployment? So to do this continuous deployment, so we are going to use a Jenkins. Jenkins is a open source continuous integration and continuous deployment tool. It's a CI/CD tool. It's a famous CI/CD tool. The Jenkins is a CI/CD tool which is used to run so your test cases continuously, and then you can deploy the code in whichever environment you want once the build is successful. So that is called continuous deployment. So let's go and see how we can achieve this. Okay, so any questions here?
This cloning will be done at the time of initial,
Yeah, when you are
not
starting the
on
work
a daily.
itself. First, when you are starting work, they have given work to you. The first thing you will do, even if you go to the companies, so you want to understand the code, your application code, first thing you will do, so they will give the access to GitHub. Okay, GitHub is, so mainly companies, they will maintain a private repositories. That means nobody can access. You see now my GitHub, you can access because I made public, right? So the repositories are public and private. Private means all the applications will be a private repositories. So outside people cannot access. So that's the how they will maintain only. So once you join, they will give access to you for that repository, for that project, which project you aligned. Once you align, first thing you will clone the entire code into your local machine. Then you will open in the your so interested your so IDE tool. You will open the project. Then you will go through the code. Then while going through the code, first you create the branch. If you start working, first create the branch with the user story. The story number they will give, right? You need to work the task they have given, create the automation test scripts for this particular so and so feature. And then you have to use that user story to create the branch. Then you start working, then you create the files, then you write the code, and then so I'll tell you all the Git commands. So what Git commands we are going to use. So let's run this first your Jenkins. So then we can see how to do that. First, if you want to run Jenkins, download the Jenkins first. So where you can download, I have already given very clear instructions here. So let me go there. So very clear instructions I have provided how to install everything. So where you will get everything. So I have given here. See that screen by screen I have given. You have a nice documentation. See that. So this is the one. See you can open directly this one. Go and CLTS. You can download that whichever you want. Click on download. Automatically it will download a Jenkins file. See here you have, so generic Java .var file you download. So I want long-term support one. So var file. So the var file will be downloaded here. So you go to downloads and you take the, so see this the var file. Keep this var file in C drive somewhere. So Jenkins, I created a folder, Jenkins var file, place it here. So I'll just move this. Go there and place it here. So it's already there, but yeah. So I don't need again, but I'll paste it here. So that's the thing you need this jar file. So once this jar file is available and open the command prompt, you can trigger the. So this is the one. See, once you download it, so and then go to the place Jenkins var file and open Jenkins var file location in the command prompt. So just give this command java -jar jenkins.var. So it will start the Jenkins file. Okay. So I'm going to that location and I'm going to start because maybe I have the Jenkins, old Jenkins. I'll delete